Welcome to this video. Today we will learn how we can implement a queue in Python using a list. Okay, so if you don't know, a queue is a linear data structure that follows the first in first out principles. The first person that comes is the first person that should leave. Okay, so that is how queue works. Let's say this is an example. Think of a queue as people standing on a line in a supermarket. Let's say if you go to a supermarket, right, and then the people that came before you, they should be paid before you and leave. This is how queue works. And today we will implement that using like a Python list. The first person that stand on the line is also the first person who can pay and leave the supermarket. That is obviously true. Okay, basic operations we can do on a queue. For example, we can enqueue. When we enqueue, that means we add a new element to the queue. Okay, and when we dequeue, that means we remove and returns the first or the front element from the queue, and when we pick, we just return the first element in the queue. After that, we can check if the queue is empty. We check is empty, and we can also check the size. We can find a number of elements in the queue. Okay, so for today, we will implement the queue using a Python list. And then after that, in the next coming videos, we will also implement a queue using a queue class and also using a linked list. But for today, we will implement the queue using a Python list, okay? Let's write it right here. Implement queue using Python list. Okay, to get started, what we need to do, we need to create the variable. We can give it a name of queue and we assign it to an empty list. Now we will enqueue. Enqueue means we will need to add element to the queue. Let's say we'll enqueue. Okay, we'll add element to the queue. We can call the name, we can say queue. Okay, that happened. We can happen element, like let's say if we happen A, let's use number 10. Queue that happened 34. I choose random number key that happened 67. Let's add another one, right? Q that happened 23. Okay, I choose these numbers randomly. Now we can also check the queue to see what are the elements that we have on the queue. We can print the queue. We can give it a name of queue. And then after that, we can print the queue. Let's see what will be the result. Okay, now we have this as the result in the queue. So now in the queue, we have 10, 34, 67, 23. That means 10 is the one that came first, and 10 should be the one that will be leaving first. After that, 34 and in 67 and 23. This is how the queue works. Okay, the first come like first serve. Okay, this is the FIFO principle. Okay, it is like first come, first in, first out, like, or first come, first serve. Okay, now we can pick the top element from the queue. Let's say if we want to pick, look at this. What does that mean, pick? That pick means return the first element in the queue. Let's return it. Let's return the first element from the queue. We can save that what will be returned on a variable. We can say front. We can say top element. Okay, let's say pick. We can say top element, and then we can say queue at index 0. That means we want to get the first element from the queue. And let's print the queue. Let's print the element that we have been picked. Okay. Let's say I want to top element. And then now let's console to see what to be the top element from the queue. The top element from the queue, let me write top element, top queue. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the top queue is 10 because 10 is the first one that was added to the queue. This one is quite easy. And now we can also dequeue. To dequeue, remember the dequeue means to remove element from the queue, okay? Dequeue, we move and return the first or the fourth element from the queue. Okay, so we will implement the dequeue. Dequeue. To dequeue, let's say if we call pop element, okay? I'm sorry. Pop element, we can say like queue, we can pop it. Pop up at index 0. I'm sorry. Yeah, we pop at index 0. That means we will remove and return the top element, the first element from the queue. Let's say we say the queue. Okay, let me write it right here. The queue. And then we say popped element. Take a look to see what will be console on the what will be display on the terminal. Now, after that, let me show you. We can also print the queue to see what is in the queue. Remember, when you use the dequeue, we get and we pop and return the first element from the queue. The dequeue is it removes and return the first or the fourth element from the queue. You need to just keep this in your mind, okay? And then now what we do, okay, let's say we can print the queue to see after we finish to remove the top element. Let's see. You see, now we no longer have the 10, we have 34, 67, 23. Let's say we'll go to a supermarket, as we have been taking that example. And then after, if you had like two people before you, if like the first person the first person that came before you, okay, this person passed, and then after that you need to wait for the second person, and then the second person passed, and then you pass. This is how the queue works, okay? This is how you can implement a queue using a Python list, okay? And then now we can do something else. We can also check if the queue is empty. Is empty. Is empty means we check if there are some element in the queue, okay? If there are some element in the queue, if the queue is empty, we check is empty equal, we do not, okay? Not bool. We can say not bool queue. And then we check. Now that will return if the queue has some element or not, okay? If the queue has element, it will return true. If the queue does not have element, it will return false, okay? Is empty. We can say is empty. Let's use it like this, okay? Let's see, let's print it. Okay, we have printed it. Is empty is false because we have some elements on the queue. So now you learn how you can add so how to enqueue, how to dequeue, and also how to pick. The pick will just return the top element from the queue. Now we can check the size of a queue. Let's say if we check the size of a queue, we can say print size, and then we say length queue, right? And that's it. And let's see what will be console. I'm sorry, what will be displayed on the terminal? Let's see. Okay, the size of the queue is 3. Remember, right here the size of the queue was 4, but we have already used the dequeue, so we have already removed one element from the queue. When we use the dequeue means we remove the top, okay, or the fourth element from the queue, and then now the size of the queue becomes 3. And then with that being said, we have implemented a queue using a Python list. It is quite simple and easy to understand, okay? So if you have any question, do not forget to let us know in the comments below, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. And thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe if you're watching this video on YouTube, okay, to the YouTube channel. And also do not forget to follow us if you're watching this video on Facebook so you don't miss the next video, because in the next video we will also show you how you can implement a queue using a Python class, using a queue class, okay? And after that, we will see how you can implement a queue using like a linked list. But for today, that is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.